Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from KYNT Studios in Yankton, South Dakota. This is Huddling with the Herd, your weekly update on everything going on with the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics. I am Braden Butler. We got plenty to talk about today on Huddling with the Herd, and we're going to start with the team that got their season started last night in Huron. The Yankton Bucks. Big win for Yankton over the Huron Tigers. A little bit of a scare in the first half. It was tied at 21 at the half. And that's after Yankton led 21-7 with just under a couple minutes to play in that first half. A late touchdown and a pick six really turned that game on its ear at the halftime break. Yankton pulls away in the end, though, scoring 20 of the last 23 points. 41-20 win for Yankton over the Huron Tigers. Big day for the offense. 370 yards of total offense. Tate Bestie, 240 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. Owen Eidsness is number 1 receiver. 8 catches for 90 yards and 2 scores for Eidsness. 3 interceptions for the Yankton defense as well. Kale Hazelhorst, Chase Platt, and Gavin Johnson all getting an interception in that one. Yankton, after a 1-0 start now with that win over Huron, will stay home next week as they have their home opener against Watertown on Friday. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Pregame coverage here on KYNT and KYN-TV beginning at 6. That's the initial recap of last night's matchup with Huron, but don't just take my word for it. We were able to catch up with assistant coach Brady Hale in the post-game show. Talk to him a little bit about the team, about the early scare and how he's feeling now after week 1. Here's the interview now here on Huddling with the Herd.
Coach Hale, a bit of a first half scare there. A lot of just mental lapses early on there. It felt like 21-21 at the half, but you guys scored 20 of the last 23 points scored in the contest. What are your initial thoughts coming out here after that win?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some stuff we can clean up, but I think that's typical for our first game. But I thought, some things obviously went Huron's way towards the end of the first half, but then credit to our guys for kind of regrouping, and it would have been easy to kind of come out some things on our way and kind of lay an egg in the second half and hang our heads, but we did the opposite of that, and that's a credit to our leadership. So obviously some mental mistakes that we can clean up, but in the grand picture of things, I think our leadership and just our seniors in general kind of lifted us to a victory here today, so that's a positive that we can take for sure.
Defense was impressive, getting after the ball in the first half. 3 interceptions. Yeah. Chase Platt, Gavin Johnson after a little tip drill from Carter Boomsma, and then Kale Hazelhorst, who thought he might have the team lead again in interceptions after the first one, but a couple more tonight. So it feels like a ball-hawking secondary again for Yank to try to force those takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, credit to those guys. That's exactly right. They fly around and they want to make plays, and, they take pride in that. I thought, like the whole night they were in spots where they needed to be. They kept the ball in front of them, and then when the ball did get put in the air, they went and made plays on it. So, and that's obviously a huge play for us. Turnovers are a huge play in a football game, so you just can't put that into words how important that is, just momentum and things like that. And those guys have just been doing it all fall camp, so it was really no surprise, but still great.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you put in a lot of work and work closely with those wide receivers. Let's talk about Owen and Abe and their days for you here. Owen had 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Abe had 77 in that touchdown. Just talk about their performance today.
Yeah, they're my 2 senior guys. I mean, they're the 2 that, have been working at wide out consistently for, a very long time. And Owen, I'm just going to say it, he had an unbelievable fall camp. And I'm not shocked in the least about what happened here on this field. He is such a good player. He's talented. He's smart. And Abe is the same. I mean, they take what the defense gives them, and, they don't try to do too much. And obviously they're able to hit a home run and make a big play. Obviously, maybe we don't high step into the end zone the next time. But, that's part of high school football, And it was so cool to see them have success. And I thought Tate played a great game, Again, things kind of went awry for him at times, an interception, a pick six, but he came back and he played amazing. I thought he played great in the second half. He managed our offense, and he just, he put the ball where our guys can make plays, and that's really all we can ask.
Yeah, and you kind of took my next question there. I was going to ask you about Tate, but I'll shift a little bit here, obviously, as the special teams coordinator here. Talk about Liam Villanueva. He had a really good day punting the ball, pinning one right down about the 10, I think, at one point. I thought he had a really good day as well.
Yeah, Liam's another one. He's a senior, and he's been doing this for long enough where he kind of knows what's expected of him as a punter and a kickoff guy and things like that. And I thought he did a nice job. We had we had a long snapper change about halfway through the game with some cramping and things like that. So for him to not only have that change, which is, I mean, it's a pretty big deal for a punter to have a different snapper. And then he went out there and executed to a very high level. We all thought that he did a nice job. And then kicking off, you know, there were a couple I'm sure he wished he could have back. But for the most part, I thought kickoff coverage, and that Liam's a big part of that. We kept the ball in front of us and just minimized the big play. So special teams, I thought it was a pretty good start for the year.
Yeah.
You know, you come back home next week, first home game of the season for you guys, and it's a Watertown team coming off, obviously, state championship last year, a team that you guys fell to in Watertown early on last season. What's the goals this week in practice to be ready for that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching cliche is you kind of treat every game like, you know, they're the same, but I'm sure our boys have had this game circled for a while, just, you know, knowing what happened last year, and we played a tough game up in Watertown, and they're a good team. They were so good last year. They were talented and physical, and they definitely were deserving of their state championship. And it's going to be exciting to get to match up with them and kind of see how, you know, off seasons have went and where teams are at nowadays. So I think just we're going to keep our normal approach as coaches, and I'm sure our boys will be a little excited to get out there and try to, you know, avenge some of those demons from last year up in Watertown. But it's going to take a good effort, and I'm thinking we're going to have to clean up a few of the mental mistakes from tonight, but that's the great part about football is you can come back to practice and work on it and get better for the next one.
Big thank you to Brady Hale for coming up after the game last night and talking to us here at KYNT. Always nice to hear from Coach Hale. Talking more football, JV results, 24-21 loss for the junior varsity to Mitchell earlier this week. Jackson Kudera had 180 yards passing and a touchdown. Sawyer Mybaum and Will Sager combined for 10 catches and 132 yards through the air, and Ivan Hirschman had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jamison Rogers helped lead the defense, 8 tackles for him, followed by 7 from Triker Myers. Yankton will host Pierre for the next game on September 1st at 1 p.m. at Crane Youngworth Field. And freshman football results, a 20-7 win over Pierre for the freshman Bucks. Carter Saylor had 90 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, and 39 yards on the ground. Emmett Hirschman had the receiving touchdown. He also had a 67-yard scoop and score on a fumble recovery return for 6. Landon Bottleson had 3 sacks as well for the Bucks. Yankton will host Mitchell on September 4th at 4:30 p.m. for their next freshman game. That's your roundup of football here on KYNT and KYN-TV. When we come back, we're talking volleyball and soccer. Still plenty to talk about on Huddling with the Herd. Don't go anywhere. Keep it tuned right here to KYNT, KYN-TV.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. We offer expertise and experience, where your long-term eye care is our concern. State-of-the-art technology, where we never lose sight of quality. Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Mount Marty is committed to excellence in nursing.
We really go the extra mile to care for our students as a whole person. My name is Crystal Diedrichson. I am an associate professor of nursing at Mount Marty. As a Catholic Benedictine university, we can incorporate God and prayer in our regular classwork and interactions with students. And in addition to that, we care about the students in other aspects of their lives.
Start your journey at mountmarty.edu.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
More pay, more benefits, more opportunities. Parker of Yankton is hiring second shift assemblers and a variety of other positions. With competitive wages plus a night shift pay differential, enjoy great health insurance, paid time off, retirement benefits, and a team that helps you succeed. Whether you're starting fresh or looking to advance, this is your chance to earn more while building a career you can count on. Don't wait. Apply today and make your next move your best move.
Parker, engineering your success.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and Bicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tykro in Yankton today.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury, check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet. From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Now located on Summit Street across from the high school.
Welcome back in here, KYNT, KYNTV. It's Huddling with the Herd. Braden Butler in here, and we're going to talk soccer and volleyball now here on Huddling with the Herd. We'll start with soccer, and our focus will be on the Bucks to get things going. Back on Tuesday, it was a 2-1 loss to Sioux Falls Jefferson for the Bucks. At that point, they fell to 1-3-1 on the year. Jack Pedersen was able to score a goal on an assist from Christian Pacheco. Andrew Budick made 5 saves in net. But the Bucks back in the win column on Thursday in a big way. A 3-0 shutout of T Area. Jack Pedersen on the score sheet again, as well as Joaquin Pulido and Christian Pacheco. Tony Guitron grabbed an assist as well. 8 saves by my count on Thursday for Andrew Budick between the sticks. Big game there for the Bucks. Now 2-3-1 on the year, and an emphatic showing like that against a T Area team that at that point was undefeated could build some momentum into their future. Let's switch gears and talk about the Gazelles, who heading into this week were tied for 5th in the Class AA coaches poll, and that ranking might be going up. Pair of shutouts this week for the Gazelles. 3-0 win, keeping a clean sheet against Sioux Falls Jefferson. Eden Wolfgram, Aviana Seiler, and Lucy Johnson all getting on the score sheet on Tuesday, with Wolfgram and Ayana Becker recording assists. Elena Monin, her second shutout of the season with 4 saves in net. It was a 2-0 win over T Area on Thursday for the Gazelles. Eden Wolfgram and Jocelyn Elwood scored the 2 goals, with Wolfgram bagging an assist. And it was once again the 3rd shutout of the season for the Gazelles defense, and Elena Monin in net. Coming up for Yankton Bucks and Gazelles soccer, it's a boys and girls doubleheader on September 2nd. That's next Tuesday. Bucks at 5, Gazelles at 7. Coverage right here on KYNT and KYNTV. Begins at 4 with yours truly, Braden Butler, on the call for that one. Solid start to the season for the Bucks and Gazelles. Gazelles flying high, Bucks building some momentum, and we're nearing the halfway point. We're 6 matches into the year. It's a 14-match regular season for Bucks and Gazelles soccer. Switching strides now, let's check on Gazelles volleyball, their first week of the season. They are 0-2 to start the year. There was a pair of 3-0 sweeps that did not go in the Gazelles' favor. On Tuesday against O'Gorman at the Summit Activities Center, 25-11, 25-12, and 25-10, the 3 sets finished, with the O'Gorman Lady Knights rolling to a victory in that one. Ellie Drotzman was able to lead the Gazelles with a pair of kills and 2 blocks as well in the loss. And on Thursday, another tough outing, Dakota Valley with a 3-0 sweep over the Gazelles, 25-10, 25-8, and 25-7. Ellie Drotzman again leading the charge with 3 kills for Yankton. 0-2 to start the season, but they can get those wins right back today. 3 matches today in Norfolk, Nebraska. A little tournament down there that they got going on. Action began for that at 9 a.m. this morning. We'll have all those results on Monday as part of our Monday morning sports report. Check that. Monday's Labor Day. We'll have all those results on Tuesday as part of the Tuesday morning sports report on KYNT. To put a bow on soccer and volleyball here on Huddling with the Herd, the Bucks now 2-3-1 on the soccer field. The Soccer Gazelles 4-1-1, and the Gazelles volleyball squad 0-2 to start the year, but 3 big matches today in Norfolk, Nebraska. Gonna take another break, come back in a couple minutes. We're keeping things rolling. We are gonna talk tennis and golf when we come back. This is Huddling with the Herd on KYNT. I'm Braden Butler.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Credit union people are my people. Dreaming big, keeping life simple. Saving smart, living free. At Explorers Credit Union, you're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall. Together we rise, together we call. Credit union people are my people, it's true. And I found my crew at Explorers CU. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit ExplorerCU.com to join the journey today.
Have you heard about Slowey Management's latest upgrades at the Holiday Inn Express in Yankton? Well, it's some big news. Renovations are being done on all rooms and the hotel's breakfast area. Once all the work is complete, it'll be like stepping into a brand new hotel. If you're arranging rooms for business travelers or family, they will love the incredible improvements at the Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. And as always, for competitive rates and flexible reservation changes, contact the Holiday Inn Express direct.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Back to school is an exciting time for students. It can also be a very stressful time. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Heavy backpacks can cause injuries in children, so start the year off right and make sure your child's backpack weighs no more than 5 to 10% of their body weight and doesn't hang more than 4 inches below the waistline. For pain or discomfort resulting from backpack use, call First Chiropractic Centers. Making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
The thought of moving can be overwhelming. This is Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and with 20 years of experience, I know how to make the process less stressful. The market is just heating up, so if you're thinking of buying or selling, call me and we'll talk about the whole process. And when you're ready, I'll guide you every step of the way. Call me, Deb Speck, with Vision Real Estate, 605-664-5555.
Welcome back here on Huddling with the Herd. I am Braden Butler. It's time to talk Bucks golf and Gazelles tennis. Starting with the Bucks golf team, they placed 4th out of 14 teams in Pier earlier this week. That was a meet back on Tuesday. The Bucks shot 300 as a team to finish 4th there. Easton Velick was tied for 4th with a 72 on the day, and Kai Cody tied for 6th individually with a 73. 7th place finish on Thursday for the Bucks at an invite in Huron, shooting .322 as a team. Elijah Larson led the Bucks with a 77, tying for 14th individually. He was followed by an 80 from Gus Sprakel. Next up for the Bucks is the Marchand Cup, which is a big deal for Yankton as they take on Mitchell on Tuesday at Lakeview Golf Course in Mitchell. So the Bucks got to go on the road for that one coming up next Tuesday, the 2nd of September. Now let's talk about Yankton Gazelles tennis. They went 1-2 yesterday in a quadrangular, but they're still off to a great start in the year. They defeated Brookings 7-2, but they fell to Harrisburg 6-3 and Aberdeen Central 5-3. Nora Kraske and Sabrina Kraske both perfect over the 3 matchups. Nora was 6-0, 3-0 in singles, 3-0 in doubles, and Sabrina was 5-0, 3-0 in doubles alongside Nora, and then 2-0 in singles matches as one of her singles matches did not take place due to an injury to her opponent. Yankton is now 6-3 on the year. They're taking on Aberdeen, Roncalli, and Huron today, but they're still in Brookings for that event. Good luck to the Gazelles tennis squad today in Brookings. Aberdeen, Roncalli, and Huron on the schedule. It's been a good start to the season for the Gazelles. Now 6-3 despite a couple setbacks yesterday. We're going to go to another break here on Huddling with the Herd. When we come back, we're talking cross country and competitive cheer and dance. We even got an interview with a new head cross country coach in Mitchell Gullickson. Still plenty to come here on Huddling with the Herd, so don't go anywhere. This is your home team for Yankton Athletics, KYNT, KYN-TV.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Dr. Ben Lancaster is now accepting patients at Yankton Medical Clinic. When it comes to orthopedic care, you want the highest level of specialists available. Dr. Ben Lancaster is joining Dr. Brent Adams and Dr. Jeremy Kudera, all 5-star rated orthopedic surgeons at Yankton Medical Clinic. When you visit YMC, you'll see a board-certified physician immediately. No unnecessary referrals, no bouncing between buildings, just direct access to the orthopedic expertise your body deserves. Call 665-1722 to schedule with Dr. Ben Lancaster today.
Recently, a small business owner came into the UPS store to pick up a banner we printed for her latest event. As we rolled it up, she asked if we also designed brochures. The answer? Absolutely, we can help with that too. For over 7 years, the UPS store in Yankton has been helping customers with all kinds of printing, from large banners to detailed brochures. Come see us today and find out how we can assist with your next big project. And don't forget to ask about our print specials.
This is the sound of grilling season. It's time to get back to cookouts, to gathering with friends and family, and making memories. And with Hy-Vee's lower prices on thousands of items all over the store, you can still get the best quality meat and everything else you need for your barbecues at prices that will make you smile. Get back to grilling for less, with a little help from Hy-Vee.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Sports injuries can happen quickly, posing threats to your health and ability to participate in your regular athletic activities. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Chiropractic care can provide pain relief from sore and aching muscles and lead to faster recovery after workout by easing the inflammation you experience, like stiffness, pain, or restricted movement. Visit with us about managing your sports injuries. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
When it's time to celebrate, Pizza Ranch is ready.
This is Mike with the Yankton Pizza Ranch. We've got plenty of room and plenty of food on our buffet for everyone, loaded with pizzas, desserts, and the country's best chicken. Everyone leaves a winner, so make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch of Yankton, available every day from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Ever have one of those days? Your car breaks down. Your dog decides your couch is a chew toy. And, oh yeah, a tree falls on your roof. Don't worry, Missouri River Associates has you covered. Auto, home, pet mishaps, we're here for all of life's little oops moments. Call 665-6885 for your free quote. Because life happens, and we're ready for it.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With OptiMap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. OptiMap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your OptiMap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Credit union people are my people. Dreaming big, keeping life simple. Saving smart, living free. At Explorers Credit Union, you're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall. Together we rise, together we call. Credit union people are my people, it's true. And I found my crew at Explorers CU. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit ExplorerCU.com to join the journey today.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd. I am Braden Butler. We got cross country and competitive cheer and dance on the docket now for the show. We'll start with competitive cheer and dance. First competition of the season today at Aberdeen Central. That gets rolling at 10 a.m. Another sport that recently began their season was cross country. Both teams, that's the Bucks and Gazelles, placed second in a meet at Paisley Park in Sioux Falls. The boys had 3 top 10 finishers. Harrison Kraske was 3rd, Brighton Olsen 6th, and Luke Feimer in 10th. Abby Johannesson placed 10th for the Gazelles as their lone top 10 finisher. They got the Augustana Twilight Meet coming up on September 5th in Sioux Falls. Girls varsity at 7 p.m., boys varsity race at 7:30. Solid results to start the season, but don't just take my word for it. We had a chance to talk yesterday over the phone with Mitchell Gullickson, the new head coach of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles cross country program. Talked a little bit about his background and how he's feeling in his new role with the Bucks and Gazelles. Let's go to the interview now here on Huddling with the Herd. Braden Butler here for Huddling with the Herd. We're talking Yankton cross country now at the high school level. Mitchell Gullickson on the line, new head coach for cross country at Yankton. So just before we really get into the season opening meet earlier this week and then what you guys got coming up next, first of all, welcome to the coaching staff at Yankton. I don't know if you're from the area originally or if you transplant here, but give some people your backstory here.
Yeah, I grew up in Yankton. I actually grew up right behind the high school on top of the hill there. So high school sports has been, here, especially here in Yankton, it's just been pretty normal for me for a lot of my life at this point, especially now that I'm in charge of a sport, which is kind of funny to go from being coached by like Coach Haynes and Coach Muth and having all those guys around, and now they're kind of mentoring me a little bit and kind of showing me the ropes.
And how did the job offer come about for you to get involved with high school cross country?
Before I came back to Yankton, so I spent a 2-3 year stint over in Sioux City, and I coached cross country, and I was the head track coach over there for those 3 years. And when I came back here, I was just kind of got into girls basketball here and did that at the middle school, still doing that. And then Coach Savvy took a job out in Nebraska, and so I kind of opened that spot up, and I kind of got the itch to get back into cross country and saw the opportunity and just kind of jumped on it.
What have been some of your favorite things you're picking up your new guys and girls on the team, picking up how they work and what they like to do, how they respond to coaching and things like that? How are you picking up on them and their reads here early on?
This is a good group of kids. I mean, I kind of mentioned during our fall sports kickoff, it's nice when you can show up and the first thing you get handed is an academic award for both the boys and the girls. So we got kids that understand that school comes first. But on top of that, I mean, these kids work extremely hard. I mean, they showed up all summer long for optional stuff that they didn't have to come to if they didn't want to, and they put in the miles all summer long. And yesterday that really showed that all their hard work is kind of paying off for them.
You mentioned yesterday there, we're recording this on Friday, a little ahead of time here, but first meet of the season, I believe O'Gorman was hosting up in Sioux Falls. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but you guys got a couple top 10 individual finishers and some good team finishes as well. So if you could give our listeners at home a little bit of breakdown about how you guys did yesterday.
Yeah, things went well yesterday. I mean, our returning seniors and upperclassmen, they came out and they did what you'd expect. I mean, they ran hard. They improved. I think a lot of them showed anywhere from 30 seconds to almost a minute for some of our girls' improvement from their times last year on that same course up at Paisley Park. We got a couple key pieces that were gone yesterday that I think will help us out even more on top of what we already have returning this year. I mean, we have a group of 3 sophomores that are really hardworking, and then we've got 2 really strong seniors for the girls' team with Kaylin Peterson and Addison Muth that just kind of hold the fort down for us and kind of lead the way a little bit. And then we've got some 7th graders that they kind of dominated last year for that middle school age group. And so we're going to see what they can do to maybe help us out as the year goes on. And then with the boys, I mean, you got people like Luke Feimer or Harrison Kratzky and Brighton Olson and Gabe Rock. I mean, I can list these kids forever that have just worked so hard all summer long. And then they came out yesterday and they came out and they just did everything they needed to do and they took care of business.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 top 10 finishers individually on the boys' side and then 1 on the girls' side, I believe, from the article I read earlier this morning. But a great start to the season. Good to get that first competition under your belt as a new head coach here at Yankton High School. And you guys got it's a pretty big meet coming up next week, the Augustana Twilight meet. You guys are going to go up and take part in back in Sioux Falls, so not too long of a trip for you again. What are you expecting from that one?
That one's going to be competitive. I mean, it's a flat course, and it's going to run fast. And there's just so many kids that run in that meet that, I mean, you're going to see just that's going to be the herd literally running, and it's going to be fast. I mean, there's going to be, I think they said last year they had 300-some kids just running the boys' varsity race. And some of those turns get tight, and they're about 40, 50 feet wide just of bodies trying to find their way through there. So that can be, I mean, that's going to be kind of tough, but these guys are running, and I can't tell you how excited these guys are to go run. That's all I've heard for the last month about Augie Twilight, this and that. So these guys are ready for this.
It's a massive meet, and it gives a lot of your team a chance to really prove themselves and compare themselves to the best of the best at the high school level, because a lot of schools come up and compete there, I know.
Yep, and these guys, I mean, the boys and girls have the drive. I mean, Luke Feimer yesterday, he finished his race, and you could tell he was somewhat upset with how he finished. And I went back and plugged his times into one of my spreadsheets just to see where he compared to last year, and I think he ran like 2 minutes better than he did last year, and he was still upset with himself. So that just goes to show the drive and the competitive nature and how hard these guys want to work to be successful.
And that's got to be great as a coach. You try to hold your athletes to high standards, and then you realize they're holding themselves to those same exact standards just away from you as well.
Yeah, and it helps a lot. I mean, like you said, getting that first meet out of the way, that was a huge stress relief. I mean, Yankton Cross Country is no slouch program to kind of step into. I mean, you kind of feel the pressure, even though nobody was putting the pressure on you, just because you know the past of Coach Fitzsimmons, Coach Yeomans, all those guys and all those state championships that they've won in the past. It's like, okay, you got to there's a lot to fill in with these shoes here, so got to make sure we give it our all and make sure we're doing the Yankton name right, especially with cross country.
It's a prestigious pedigree. It feels like that way in a lot of sports here around Yankton. It seems like that's a good first step into continuing that tradition here with a solid meet yesterday.
Yeah, and so like you said, I mean, it felt good to get that one out of the way. I mean, it was nice to see the kids come out and do what we have been working hard for and hoping that was going to kind of show itself, and it did. So that, like you said, it took a lot off the shoulders there.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking some time this morning to talk to me here, and good luck on the rest of your season, especially in that big meet next week for the Augustana Twilight up in Sioux Falls.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Big thank you to Mitchell Golickson for taking time out of his day to talk to us here at Huddling with the Herd, and good luck to him and his team at the Augustana Twilight meet next week, and of course on the continuation of their varsity cross-country season that just got underway this week. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Huddling with the Herd. I have been Braden Butler. Thank you for joining me this week for Huddling with the Herd. We'll be back next Saturday with even more content. As always, go Bucks and go Gazelles. Have a great